everyone, I hope you all are having a great time. In this video we are going to solve this question. The question says derive the Miller index of the plane shown in the figure below. So we are given with a plane in red color. You can see it is a very pretty pretty plane, but yeah, and what we have to do is to find out its Miller indices. Okay, so now I will try my best to draw this plane in paper so that I can refer to this figure whenever I'm just taking the points. In order to find out the Miller indices of the plane, the first step is to find out the intercepts. And for this plane specifically, it doesn't offer any ease in determining its intercepts because there are the certain planes whose whose intercepts could be found by just looking at the figure. We can have a good guess of the intercepts, but for this plane we have to use the mathematical tools specifically in order to determine its intercepts. And you will see the intercepts we find for these for this one plane are very different from the ones that we usually get. Okay, so let's start with the problem, and I'll draw this plane in paper so that I can refer to this figure again and again, because I have to use the points from this plane, and we'll put these points into a certain equation, which will easily direct us to the solution. Okay, the equation and the method that I'm using is very easy, and I have used this method even before in multiple questions where we are finding out the Miller indices for the planes in HCP as well as in cubic lattice. So there is a variety of problems that I have done before using the similar method that I'm showing in this question also. So you can see the universality of this method, and you can practice it from those problems. You can visit the solid state physics English playlist where I have added those videos. You can check it out. So let's start with the problem now. Here I have drawn the plane, and you can see here I have also designated the letters x, y, and z to the three axis lines. And we all know the first coordinate is for x, the second is for y, and the third one is z for z. The point A coordinates are already given, and by just looking at the coordinates you can have an idea of what axis notations they have already used. Okay, we will use that one notation because sometimes this one is taken as y-axis and this one taken as x-axis, and this is as z, because the selection is arbitrary. Okay, but they have used it, so we'll use that one notation also. And we can see here that the point A coordinates are non-zero for x and z, and it is 0 for y. So it means that the point A is located at the xz plane. Okay, or the xz axis. So it means that these two axes are of x and z, because y is 0 there. That is why I took one of them as x-axis and the other one as z-axis. Okay, and the rest will be the y-axis obviously. So now let me find the intercepts for the plane, and then we'll be able to find out the Miller indices of the plane. So for intercepts determination, we'll use in point intercept equation, which is actually the equation of a plane. Alright, which is given as x over a plus y over b plus z over c equals 1. Here a, b and c intercepts are intercepts of the plane. And what are x, y and z? X, y and z are any points on the plane. Okay, these points should not be lying outside the plane, but they should be on the plane. Okay, so we'll take 3 points one by one on the plane, and we'll write the equation for those points on the plane. Okay, there will be 3 equations because they are the 3 unknowns. We have to determine a, also b and c. The number of unknowns determines the number of equations we need to find out those unknowns. Okay, if there are 3 unknown quantities, then we need 3 equations in order to find out the unknown quantities. And if there are 2, then we need 2 equations. Okay, and so on. So Let us take a point A. Okay, first of all, I'm taking point A because its coordinates are already known, and we can see here it is half for x, y 0, and z is half. So we'll put the value on these x, y, and z. In place of x, y, and z, we'll write these coordinates values. Okay, taking point A on the plane whose coordinates are we know that. All right, we'll put these values into this equation. Let this equation be equation number 1. So half over A plus 0 over B plus half over C equals 1. Okay, so it will become 1 over 2A plus 1 over 2C equals to 1. Okay, and taking 1 over 2 common, we'll get 1 over A, 1 over C equals to 1. It will be multiplied onto the other side of the equation, and the value of 1 over C will become 2 minus 1 over A. Okay, let us call it as equation number 2. All right, now just remember that equation. Okay, now we'll take another point on the plane. Let this point be this. Okay, this is the origin. Okay, and this is the point. We need to determine its coordinate first. Okay, so it is 3 by 4 units, okay, in this direction. To reach this point, what we have to do is from origin we'll move 1 unit along z-axis. Okay, 1 unit along z-axis, and 3 by 4 unit along y-axis. No movement along x-axis is needed, so its coordinate will become 0 along x, 3 by 4 along y, and 1 unit along z. Okay, these are the coordinates of this point, and yeah, we'll use these coordinates. Here x is 0 over A, y is 3 by 4 over B, plus z is 1 over C equals to 1. Alright, and it will become 3 by 4b plus 1 over c equals to 1. Okay, and yeah, leave this one equation as it is, equation number 3. Okay, let us call this point as B, let us call this point as C already, so that we can write taking point B, now taking point C. This is the point C. Okay, let us write its coordinates. To reach that point, what we have to do is we'll move 1 unit along y-axis, okay, and 3 by 4 unit along x-axis, in positive x-axis. No movement along z-axis is needed, so 3 by 4 unit along x-axis and 1 unit along y-axis, 0 unit along z-axis. So these are the points. 3 by 4 along x, 1 by b plus 0 by c equals to 1, 3 by 4a plus 1 over b equals to 1. All right, let us separate the value of 1 over b here. So 1 over b will be equals to 1 minus 3 by 4a. Okay, and let us put this value into this equation. Okay, let us call this equation as equation number 4. Putting equation 4 into 3 by 4 into its 1 over b now. Okay, 1 over b will write in place of that plus 1 over c equals to 1, and we'll also put the value from equation 2, okay, into this equation. In place of 1 over c, we'll write this equation. Okay, so we'll put basically equation number 4 and 2 into equation number 3, and yeah, let us multiply 3 by 4 inside and 9 by 16a plus in place of 1 over c, I'm writing 2 minus 1 over a, which is equation number 2. Okay, this is a, not 9. Okay, I usually make that mistake, so I will write a like that. Let us take these constant values onto the other side of the equation. 1 minus 2 minus 3 by 4 taking LCMs, 16a minus 9 minus 16, that is equals to 1 minus 2 gives us minus 1 minus 3 by 4. This is minus 25 by 16a. This is minus 7 over 4. Okay, take the LCM, you will get it. It's 4, and we need to find out the value of a, you know, so we'll keep it's minus 25 by 4a equals minus 7. Okay, minus and minus cancels out, a gets right there and 7 here, so it's 25 divided by 4 multiplied by 7 equals to a. 25 divided by 28 is equals to a. This is the x-intercept. Okay, now we need to find out b and c, which are the y and z intercepts, and they are simply found by putting the value of a into equation number 2. Okay, here is equation number 2. Here we'll put the value of a and we'll get c from this equation. So 25 by 28 is the value of a, and 1 over c is equals to 2 minus 1 over a. 1 over c is equals to 2 minus 25 divided by 1 over 25 divided by 28. 28 goes up. 28 divided by 25, taking the LCM, it's 25, and 50 minus 28 divided by, and 50 minus 28 gives us 22 divided by 25. Am I right? I just need calculator to validate my result. So 1 over c is equals to 22 by 25. Okay, so c will be equals to 25 by 22. Okay, this is the z intercept. Now we need to calculate the y intercept, and for that we'll put the values into equation either in equation 3 or in equation 4, it's up to us. So we'll put in equation number 4. Okay, because b is already separated, we just need to put the values, and 1 over b equals 1 minus 3 over 4 into a. A was 25 divided by 28. Okay, 1 minus 3, 28 goes up. 4 ones are and 4 sevens are. 1 minus 21 divided by 25, taking LCM, 25 minus 21, which gives us 4 over 25. 1 over b, and b will be equals to 25 over 4. So these are the final intercepts that we got for the plane. Now the next step is to take the reciprocal. Taking reciprocal. For determining the Miller indices of the plane, we have to take the reciprocal of the intercepts. So reciprocal of a is 1 over a equals 28 by 25. The thing, they will just get inversed. Okay, numerator will become denominator and vice versa. So 1 over b equals 4 over 25. 1 over c equals 22 over 25. Now we'll multiply, removing fractions. We need to remove the fractions. Okay, in planes we have to remove the fractions. Also in directions we remove fractions, and for that purpose we'll multiply each value by 25, because you know in denominator it's 25 everywhere. Multiplying with the 25 number will remove the fraction, so that 25 gets cancelled out, and we'll get the final Miller indices, which is 28 for H, 4 for K, and 22 for L. Okay, or you can call it as H prime, K prime, or L prime, but in cube we just use unprimed numbers, because we do not need 4-digit Miller indices for a cubic lattice. That is why these are actually H, K, and L, and we have 28, 4, and 22 as the Miller indices of the planes. And you have to separate the 28 digit from 4 a slightly bit more, because to write 2, 4, 2 without spacing, because it shows this is for H, this is for K, and this is for L, but you know they are the two numbers, it is 28. Okay, so that you do not confuse between the identity of the Miller indices, that it is for h, it is for k, and they should be separated by a little bit more space. This is the final result. Okay, and it's done now.